Organization is just as important in a form as it is to the rest of your site, maybe even more so. Especially in longer forms, you may have several areas of content that would be better organized if there were some way to divide them into separate sections. The field set and legend tags allow us to do just that. The field set tag is used to create the separate regions in your form, while the legend tag is used to identify them. Both assist with accessibility and the organization of your form elements. For our form, we'll have 3 field set regions: the personal info, login info, and tour profile regions. Before we begin placing individual form elements on the page, we'll create our field sets first. So here I have the join.html file open. Picking up where we left off, we have our empty form tag on the page. So I'm just going to place my cursor inside that form tag. You want to see it blinking inside that red dotted box. We're going to go up to our insert panel, and we're going to inset a field set. Now, field sets can be found right here towards the 2/3 on the right-hand side. It looks like a little box with another little box in the upper left-hand corner, which is an incredibly appropriate icon for field sets, as you're about to see. So I'm going to go ahead and click to insert my first field set. And the only option I get when I insert a field set is, well, what do you want inside this legend? So here, I'm going to type in personal information. And you can type anything you want into those. They can be as long as you want. They just need to describe that area itself. And again, most people keep these short, maybe 1 or 2 words. I'm going to go ahead and click OK, and there is our first field set. Now, when Dreamweaver sort of renders these as a default with nothing inside of them, it can be really confusing as to where you are and where you've inserted these. So in order to make sure that we don't put one field set inside of another one, that it would be bad, we need to do a little precise cursor movement using Dreamweaver. Here's what I'd like you to do. Go down to your tag selector, find the field set tag. It should be just to the left of the legend tag, which should be highlighted. You want to click the field set tag so that you're focused on the field set, and now hit on your keyboard your right arrow key. Now, what does that do for us? It moves us outside of the field set tag to the right. I know it doesn't look like it inside the design view. It looks like we're inside the field set and ready to type, but in reality, we're outside of it. You can see in the tag selector, for example, that it has this just listed as being inside of the form. That is really important that you do that way, because clicking inside of the form right now will probably result in you going back into the field set. So you just sort of do that, don't touch anything else, and insert your next field set. So we're going to go right up here, insert our next field set, and this time the legend is going to be login information. You can see that we have one field set now on top of the other one, and we've got a little bit of separation there. And we want to do exactly the same thing that we did last time for our third field set. I'm going to click on the field set tag, hit my right arrow key so that I'm assured that I'm outside of the login information field set, and add our last one. So one more. And here we're going to go ahead and give that the legend tour profile. There we go. Now, it's never a bad idea to check into code view and make sure that these guys are where they're supposed to be. So I'm going to highlight them just to make them easier to find in the code and click on split view. And right there we can see we've got exactly what we want. Each field set comes right after the other. If you see them inside of each other, don't panic. You can cut and paste them so that they're stacked on top of each other like this, or you could just delete them and start over again. Just remember to use the tag selector to help you with that. Honestly, there are some things that are just easier to do in code, but at least we can still do that in design view if we need to. All right, I'm going to save this file, and there's really not much to look at yet, but I'm going to go ahead and preview this in my browser anyway, because I want to show you the default styling for field sets and legends. The default styling for a field set is that that part of the form will be surrounded by sort of a gray border. The legend itself shows up in the top left-hand corner of the field set and just kind of hovers there in the middle of it. Now, if that is something that you're comfortable with, then that's fine. There are all sorts of styling that you can do with this, but I'm going to go on a limb here and tell you that's the hardest tag in all of CSS to style. We're going to be styling it on our own in just a little bit, but before we start styling all those elements, we need to start building the rest of the form, and we're going to do that next.